Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
I hope we are doing well.
Yes, please.
We are fine, and you?
I'm good. I'm good. All right. Do we have any problem from last meeting?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any problem? Are we done with the
No.
Are we done with the assignment? The right issue. Are you people seeing top?
Mm.
Okay, don't worry. The assignment will come as soon as we are done with time value of money today. We will try everything possible to finish today. We are coming to look at 4 major things. But the remaining 2, which is sinking fund and low amortization, depends on the first 2 things that we are coming to look at. All right. So the last time, what we looked at, was a situation where you go and put 5,000 in the bank, and that is the end. You just go and put 5,000 in the bank, and you wait till a certain number of time before you go for your money. So what we look at the last time is you putting a certain amount of money in the bank or in the investment, and that is the end. You won't go and do anything again. But we are going to look at a situation where you put it upon yourself that, okay, at the end of every year, you'll be depositing 500 Ghana cedis in the bank. So it means that first year, if the interest rate is 5%, first year, your interest will be 5/100 times 500. That is the first year, isn't it? So what will be the interest at the end of the first year? What will be the interest at the end of the first year? Would that be 25? Would that be 25?
Yes, please.
Okay. So at the end of the first year, your total amount will be 525. Am I correct? Am I correct with the 525? At the end of the first year. Okay.
Yes, you are correct.
Okay. But now your plan is that at the end of every year, you put what? 500. So it means that at the end of year 1, you'll be having 525 plus what? 500. You do the additional deposit again. So at the end of the first year, you'll be having 1025. At the end of the first year, you'll be having 1025 because at the end of the first year, you have 525 already as the amount. By the end of that year, you will still put additional deposit. That is the 500. Then the second year, you will now earn interest on this amount. In the third year, you will now have 500 plus that particular amount. So that is what we call the annuity. Annuity is a situation where there is an equal amount of money every year. You are going to be putting an equal amount of money into the investment every year, or you are going to be taking an equal amount of money from the investment at the end of every year. That is what we call annuity. So annuity is you can go to the bank and say, okay, you'll be paying this amount of money every month or every year. That's what we call annuity. The amount that you'll be putting there or you'll be taking or you'll be paying will be a fixed amount. But for compound interest, you just go and put a lump sum there, or you just go and borrow a lump sum, and that is the end. You won't go for any additional amount of money again. But if you're talking about annuity, we are saying that you'll be going for a fixed amount at the beginning of every year or at the end of every year. That's what we call annuity. So if you are doing susu, the susu, you see that maybe at the end of every day, you pay 500. We can say that is an annuity, although it's not annual payment, but it's an equal amount that you are contributing every day. So we can say that is an annuity. A situation where you'll be taking an equal amount at the end of every year, at the end of every quarter, or at the end of every 6 months, or you'll be depositing an equal amount for a given period. That is what we call annuity. That particular amount is what we call annuity. So we are going to look at annuity. We are going to look at annuities and what we call perpetuities. Then we move on to the types of annuities. Types of annuities. So annuity and perpetuities. Okay. So if you are saying annuity, we are saying that you are doing susu. So you say that at the end of every month, you'll be contributing 500 Ghana cedis. So every month you contribute 500 Ghana cedis. Every month you'll be contributing 500 Ghana cedis. And this 500 Ghana cedis that you are contributing every month is what we call the annuity. You are contributing an equal amount over a given period. That is what we call the annuity. That's what we call the annuity. What about perpetuities? What about perpetuities? Perpetuity is you putting an amount over there for an indefinite period of time. Annuity, you can be contributing this amount at the end of every month, and you say you are going to take it in 5 years' time. But if you talk about perpetuity, you are going to put 5,000 in the bank, and you don't even know when you come for it. You don't know the time that you're going to withdraw the money. So a money that will be deposited into the unforeseeable future. That is what we call the perpetuities. But annuities, you'll be paying equal amounts, or you'll be depositing an equal amount, but there's a duration that you are going to withdraw this amount of money. But perpetuity, there is no time for what? Withdrawal. You don't even know when you are going to take the money. And there is no time for withdrawal. There is no maturity date attached to the amount of money. That is what we call perpetuity. So annuity is an equal amount. Perpetuity is an amount deposited or amount invested for unforeseeable what? Future, or it's a deposit with indefinite useful life. That is perpetuity. So in the exam, they can ask you, differentiate between perpetuity and annuity. Annuity is an equal amount deposited or borrowed over a given period of time. Perpetuity is an amount that you have invested or you have borrowed with an indefinite what? Maturity date. It doesn't have any time that you are going to take the money. They can also ask you the difference. You can also say that annuity has a future value, because annuity, if you are putting 500 cedis with a susu company, there is a time that you are going to withdraw your money. But perpetuity, there's no future value, because you don't know the time that you are going to take your money. So there is no future time for it. So annuity has a future value. Perpetuity doesn't have what? A future value. For annuity, we have two types of annuity. We are going to look at types of annuity. Types of annuity. Types of annuity. There are two types of annuity. The first one is what we call ordinary annuity. And we have annuity due. Okay, we have annuity due. The ordinary annuity and annuity due has to do with the manner in which the deposit or the withdrawal will be done. So you can say that, okay, the 500 cedis will be deposited at the end of every year. So if you are depositing an equal amount at the end of every year, that is what we call ordinary annuity. So the withdrawal or the deposit is done at the end of every year. At the end of every period, every defined period. So at the end of every defined period. So if you are going to be depositing the money equally at the end of every quarter, if you are going to be depositing an equal amount at the end of every quarter, then we say that is ordinary annuity. But annuity due is where the investment or the withdrawal will be done at the beginning of the period. At the beginning of the period. At the beginning of the period. So if you say that, okay, at the beginning of every year, you'll be putting this amount there. That is what we call annuity due. But if you say that at the end of every year, you'll be putting this amount there, that is what we call ordinary annuity. So equal amounts being deposited or being contributed at the end of every period is ordinary annuity. But an equal amount that you'll be depositing or contributing at the beginning of the period is what we call the annuity due. The annuity due. We say the annuity has both present value and what? Future value. Because annuity, we know when we are going to take the money. Perpetuity, it has indefinite what? Maturity date. We don't know when we are going to take the money. We are investing into that for unforeseeable future. So we don't know when we are going to take the money. So annuity has both present value and future value, whilst perpetuity has only future value. But annuity, if you want to look at the present value and future value of the annuity, we look at it from the two types, annuity due and ordinary annuity. So let's look at the future value of ordinary annuity and present value of annuity due. So let's take the ordinary annuity first, which will be the present value of ordinary annuity. The present value of ordinary annuity is calculated as, some of you have seen annuity factor before. It is the C, which is the cash flow or the amount or the principal. Some people can also call it principal or the cash flow. The C into brackets 1 minus another bracket 1 plus R exponent negative n all divided by R. That is the present value of ordinary annuity. Present value of ordinary annuity. Let's now count the present value of annuity due. Present value of annuity due. Present value of annuity due. The present value of annuity due is calculated as present value is equal to C into bracket 1 plus R. We are saying 1 plus R because the money will be deposited at the beginning of the year. This one, we are assuming that the money will be deposited at the end of the year. So before we start going to the end of the year, we have already earned interest on the amount of money. That is why we are having the 1 plus R. So if you're having 500, the assumption is that this 500 will be deposited at the end of the year. So the calculation of the interest will start at the end of the year. But if you're having 500, which is at the beginning, it means that before you get to the end of the year, you have already earned interest on this one. That is why we are adding the 1 plus R. Then this will now multiply by 1 minus 1 plus R exponent negative n all divided by R, where the C is the equal amount, which is the cash flow. R is the rate, and the N is the duration or the period. This is how we find the present value. Let's now count to the future value before we start taking a question. How do we find future value of annuity? We take it one by one. The future value will be this one. If it is ordinary annuity, I'll do ordinary annuity first, which is C into brackets 1 plus R exponent n minus 1 divided by R. That is future value of ordinary annuity. Annuity due annuity due will be calculated as future value into brackets C into bracket 1 plus R, another bracket 1 plus R exponent n minus 1, all divided by R. This is how we find annuity due and ordinary annuity. Present value is the same as annuity factor, you know. But for annuity due, we increase the amount by a year before we multiply it by the annuity factor. Okay, so this is the annuity factor here. All of this is the annuity factor. So all of this is what we call the annuity factor. So whenever you use the amount to multiply it, then you now have the present value. Let's look at how we find present value of perpetuity. We see that perpetuity, we are depositing the money into the unforeseeable future. So we don't have any future time that we are going to take the money. So perpetuity has no future value. So let's look at present value of perpetuity. So perpetuity, present value of perpetuity is calculated as the amount multiplied by 1 over R. 1 over R, which is the rate. But if you are going to have growth, perpetuity with growth, so this is without growth. The first one is without growth. If there is no growth, without growth. So there's sometimes you will see the amount will grow by this percentage. So if it is with growth, present value is equal to C into bracket 1 over R minus G. The G is the rate of growth. That is the present value of perpetuity. The present value of perpetuity. Let's pick a question. Then we see how we can go about that. Let's pick like 2 or 3 questions under perpetuity. Okay, someone should read
Question 1, illustration 1.
No, read it 2.
Okay. You are planning for your child's education and decided therefore to make a contribution of 5,000 each year into a special education fund operated by Max Insurance Limited. If the fund pays 15% and you undertook a 10-year plan, how much will you accumulate for the child's education at the end of the 10th year? A. Contribution is made at the end of the year, and B, at the beginning of the year. So we
Okay.
have example on both ordinary and due.
Okay. So you are planning for your child's education and decide therefore to make a contribution of 5,000 each year. So the 5,000 over there represents what?
The contribution.
Which is a C, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Cash flow.
Okay. Or sometimes you can call it an amount. So you can see that they say the first one should be at the end of the year. If they say at the end of the year, which of the annuity is that?
Ordinary.
Okay. But the question now is, what are we looking for here? Is it present value or future value?
Future value.
We are looking for future value because they are asking us to calculate the amount in 10 years time. So they are asking us to do future value. So the first one is we take the first one, which is at the beginning of the year. This is future value. So you can write the formula down. Future value of annuity is C into bracket 1 plus R exponent n minus 1, all divided by R. That is ordinary annuity. So this is ordinary annuity. Okay. So the question now is we need to define our items. The C in the question is what? 5,000. The R is what? What is the R in the question?
15%.
15%. Okay, the R is 15%. Our N is what?
The number of years, so it's 10.
10 years. Okay. So let's now find the future value by having 5,000 multiplied by 1 plus 0.15 exponent 10 minus 1 divided by 0.15. Okay, so you can put all of this into the calculator and get the answer, or you can do the brackets first and use the answer to multiply that. So you can also bring another step, 5,000 into brackets 1.15 exponent 10 minus 1 divided by 0.15. Then with this one, you can just put the answer there straightforward. At least 3 steps is okay. After writing the formula, additional 3 steps might be okay. All right. So what will be the formula using your calculator? What will be the answer?
After using the calculator, I had 101 518.59.
101
518.59.
8.59. Can someone confirm that?
Confirm.
Okay. Okay. Can we now move to the second one, which is at the beginning of the year? At the beginning of the year. Okay, I will show you how to do the annuity due. Annuity due. Annuity due, which will be future value is equal to C into bracket 1 plus R, 1 plus R exponent N minus 1 divided by R. This will give us future value is equal to 5,000 into bracket 1.15, another bracket 1 plus 0.15 exponent 10 minus 1 divided by R. Okay, am I correct?
Yes, you're correct.
Okay, so the increase in the first one is what? 1.15 times 5,000. I'm getting 5750. So I will have 5750 multiplied by 1.15 exponent 10 minus 1 divided by 0.15. What are we getting?
I'm getting 116746. I don't know if it's correct.
Point what?
38.
Okay. If you can't do it to the nearest Ghana city, do it to the 2 decimal places.
Okay.
All right. Can someone confirm that?
Confirm.
Okay. Let me also show you how.
Okay. Please, the earlier one we solved, was it
Yeah.
101,518.59?
Let me check. Yeah, 101. Yeah,
5.
5.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Let me also show you how you can find the annuity due. We are saying that the money will be deposited at the beginning of the year, isn't it? So before the year will end, you have already earned interest on the amount, isn't it? But the annuity formula is used to calculate the amount at the end of every year. So it means that before we will start calculating the annuity, we have already earned interest on this amount, and the interest will be 750. Do 15% on 5,000 and see.
$750.
Okay. So it means that if you are depositing the money for only 1 year, at the end of the year, the future value will be what? 5750. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. So at the end of the year, what are you going to do? You deposit additional 5,000. So you have done 1 year already. So you start depositing the 5,000 at the end of this year. But this will be done for only what? 9 years, because you have already done 1 year, which is the 5750. So you can now do something like this: 1.15 exponent 9 minus 1 divided by 0.15. Do the same thing and see whether you get the same answer. The 5,000, the subsequent 5,000 will now be deposited for 9 years. You have already done this one for 1 year. This is another way of doing the annuity. Okay. Confirm that. Let me see. 5750 plus 1.15 exponent 9 minus 1 divided by 0.5 times 5,000. Then you add the 2. You have to get something like 116746. I'm sure the decimal will be different. The decimal might be different. But you get something 116746 point something. Can someone confirm?
Is it multiply or is added?
This
The
one is
5,000.
the 5,000 is multiplying this. But the answer that you get over here, you add it to 5750.
Okay, so this one plus 5750. Wait. I'm not getting it here, so I don't know if I'm getting it.
Can someone confirm that? Can someone do it?
Yeah, I'm on.
I'm getting 89,679. That's why I'm just confused.
Uh, 896679.
Yes.
Is that what you're getting?
83929.
It's supposed to be the same. Maybe there's something somewhere. But anytime use this one, use the first one. Okay. Supposed to be the same. This has n interest 1 year. I'm the one who did a mistake. Interest will be earned on this one too. You start having interest on that. So this might be okay. This might be okay. This alternative might not work. Okay. So that is all about annuity. Let's take anyone about present value and see. Let's take the next question. Let's take the next question.
Yeah, for me. Okay, the next question. I don't know if I should get the three.
Yeah, the three.
Okay. Your daughter is expected to enter the university in next year. It is estimated that she will need 10,000 each year for 4 years university education. You are planning to deposit a lump sum into an account that yields 10% per annum to cater for her university education. How much should be deposited?
Okay. How much should be deposited? Your daughter is expected to enter the university in next year. It is estimated that she will need 10,000 each year for the 4-year university
Please, which
education.
question?
Question 3.
Hello.
Question 3.
Okay.
Your daughter is expected to enter the university
Thank
in
you.
next year. It is estimated that she will need 10,000 each year for the next 4-year university education. You are planning to deposit a lump sum into an account that yield 10% annum, 10% and 10% per annum to cater for your university education. How much should be deposited? How much should be deposited? Okay, what are they telling you now? Are they asking you to know the amount that will be deposited in the future or the amount that should be deposited now?
The present value of the deposit.
Okay, the present value of the what? The deposit. Okay, but what is the amount that she will be taking at the end of every year?
10K.
10K. And how many years are you going to do this deposit?
4 times or 4
Okay.
years.
All right. So this question is talking about present value because they're asking you how much should be deposited. It means that how much you are going to deposit now so that at the end of every year, she will be cashing out 10,000 for 4 years. So this question is asking you for present value. Present value for what? Ordinary or annuity due? The question wasn't clear on which of them, isn't it?
Yes, it was silent.
So you assume that the money will be taken at the end of what? Every year. She'll be needing the money at the end of every year. So we find the present value of ordinary annuity. Okay. When did this person join the pitch? Prince, when did you join the pitch? The question is there now, so check. All right. So we are looking for ordinary annuity. Okay. So we have present value is calculated as C into brackets 1 minus 1 plus r exponent negative n divided by r. So PV is equal to, our C is what? In the question, what is our C?
10,000.
10,000. Okay, 1 minus, our R is what?
0.1.
0.1.
10%.
And our N is what?
4.
4 divided by 0.1. So after this, you can bring another step, which is 10,000. 1 minus 1.1 exponent negative 4 divided by 0.1. After this, you can just write the full answer. You can just write the full answer. Someone is saying that 46410. Is that correct?
I think it's no. I had
31698.65.
3198.
31698.35.
65.
65.
Okay. So the person getting that answer has to work on how to punch calculator to find annuity. Okay, if you can't do it one by one. Okay, I'm looking for okay, let's look at tutorial question 6.
Question 6. Afai Fabrics Limited plans to replace its existing manufacturing plant with a newer version in 3 years' time. The replacement cost of the existing plant is 10 million Ghana cedis currently. However, experts forecast that the cost of the newer version of the plant will be 12 million in 3 years' time. On the advice of the finance manager, the company will start saving from now to raise the required amount to buy the plant in 3 years' time. Consequently, the company has signed an investment agreement with DT Financial Services Limited. Per the agreement, the company will deposit equal amounts into an interest-bearing account at the beginning of each year for 3 years. The annual nominal interest rate on the account is 16%, but interest will be compounded monthly.
Okay.
Required. Compute the equal annual deposits required to raise the required amount in 3 years' time.
Okay. You see, what we are doing monthly. Annuity, what we are doing annually. Annuity, we can still have different period, quarterly, monthly, semi-annually, and those things. Are you okay? You can see this question over here. They are saying that the person want to replace existing what plants. But if they want to buy it now, is what 10 million, isn't it? But if they want to buy it in 12 years, 3 years time, is 12 million, isn't it?
That's
But
correct.
they want to start putting fixed amounts or an equal amount at the end of every month towards what the purchase of the plants in 3 years time. How much are they planning to contribute up to the end of 3 years time? How much are they contributing towards? Or how much do they want to get at the end of the 3 years time?
12 million.
So that 12 million over there, is it a present value or future value?
Future value.
Okay. Which type of annuity are we taking into this consideration? Which type of annuity are we looking at?
Future value annuity due.
Okay, you can see that they are saying that at the beginning of each of the next 3 years. So we are looking at what? Future value of annuity due. You see the fixed amount that you are going to be contributing this towards a project is what we call the sinking fund. So this question is actually about sinking fund. So if you're able to solve this question, it means that we are done with the sinking fund. Sinking fund is a special fund that is being set aside for a project. So you'll be putting a certain amount of money over there. So sinking fund is always for future events. So this is a sinking fund. We are going to open a deposit account and be putting money into that account at the beginning of every year towards the acquisition of what? The plant. So if you are contributing towards a project, what you are doing is what we call the sinking fund. So this question is about sinking fund, but we can still use the annuity due because sinking fund, we use annuity for sinking fund. Okay, so we are going to look at future value of annuity due because the contribution will be done at the beginning of every year. Okay, so the question now is, how do we find the future value of annuity due? It is calculated as C, 1 plus R. This R over here is monthly, isn't it? So we divide by
Yes.
M.
12.
This is monthly, we divide by M. Thinking that the M is 12. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Into brackets, 1 plus R over what? M. Exponent M times N minus 1, all divided by R divided by M. Okay, I will write this thing for you again so that you see what we are talking about. Do we know the amount that we'll be contributing every year? No, that is what we are looking for. Are you okay? So we now have C into brackets 1 plus the interest rate is what?
16%, 0.16.
So 0.16 divided by 12. Am I correct?
That's correct for
Okay.
the month.
Into brackets 1 plus 0.16 divided by 12
Yes.
exponent 12 is what?
3
This will be
by
30.
12.
So this will be 36. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. Minus 1 divided by
0.16.
0.16 divided by 12. Okay. So the
Uh,
question, we know our future.
uh,
Yes.
I was thinking the all over should apply to the last bracket.
No. The R is affecting all of them. It's multiplication. If there should be
Okay.
addition here, that is why the LCM will multiply this and multiply this.
Okay.
Are you okay? Since it's a multiplication, it will affect all of them. Our future value now is 12 million. So 12 million is equal to C into brackets. Can we get exact value for this one? That 1 plus something. Just do it to 3 decimal places. 1 plus
Okay. 1 plus 0.16 by 12. Okay, so we have 1.013.
1.013.
3.
Okay. So let's do this one too.
Okay. 1 plus 1.6 divided by 12.
I'm sure this will be exponent 36 minus minus 1.
Okay, 1.13. Yes, okay.
Okay. Divided by
31.
0.013. I'm sure that down will be 0.013.
Okay, 0.16 divided by 12. 0.013 is correct, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Mm,
So let's now have 12 million is equal to So let's do this one. The 1.013 exponent 36 minus 1.
1.013 exponent 36 minus 1.
Yeah.
It's like we are lost, cry.
This is change of subject. Oh.
Okay, so that one is 0.592.
Okay. 0.592.
592 to 3 decimal places.
Okay. 592. And all of these divided by 0.013. Okay, so what do? We are looking for C.
See.
So we now find LCM 12 million times 0.013 or C multiplied by 1.013, 0.592. You divide both sides by 0.013, 0.592, 0.013, 0.592. This change of subject, you have given future value and they are asking you to find the equal amount. So you made the C the subject. It's all about making the C the subject. This is pure maths, not financial management.
That's a 19.39.
I want the answer. Okay, let me give it divided by 0.5. Okay, so I'm getting 0.279.
6. Okay, I'm getting 0.2608. So it's the same thing. It might be the approximation. So our C will be 0.2 what?
7879 if you run it, yeah.
Okay. So let's just make it 0.28 million. 2 decimal place will be 0.28 million. That is the amount that you'll be depositing at the end of every year. This is pure maths. It's not about financial management. Financial management is all about mathematics. If your mathematics background is no, especially your change of subject. This one, they have given you future value. They haven't given you the C, but they have given you the year, and they have given you the R. So you have to make the C the subject. So you now work on your change of subjects by making the C the subject. But you have to know that they are doing this monthly. So you have to find monthly rates like the way we did it last week, where if you are doing it monthly, you divide the rate by 12 and now multiply the exponent by 12. If you are doing it quarterly, it means that you divide the rate by 3 or 4. Quarterly will be 4 divided by 4 because you have 4 quarters in a year. So we are doing this for 3 years, but they are saying that this will be done every year. How many months do we have in 3 years? Or how many months makes 3 years? That will be 36, isn't it? That is why we made the exponent to be 36. So if you are doing this monthly, it means that you are going to deposit this amount 36 times because you are doing it 3 years. And 36 months makes 3 years. The rate is per annum. So if you are doing this monthly, you have to find the monthly rate by dividing your rate by 12. That is what we have done. That is change of subject. All right. let's look at annuity itself, and let's look at sinking fund and loan amortization. Then we know that we're done. We solve last sitting question. Then we say that we are done. So we are looking at sinking fund, before we come to loan amortization. The question that we have just solved is about sinking fund. It's about sinking fund. The question we just solved is about sinking fund. Sinking fund is a situation where, okay, let me ask, in the public sector, what is sinking fund? What is the purpose of the sinking fund? In the public sector, we have sinking fund. What is the purpose of the sinking fund? Yeah, Prince, what is the purpose of sinking fund for Ghana? Prince, sinking fund. Robert. Robert, are you there?
Say, please, I'm here.
Sinking fund. Do you know that we have a sinking fund for Ghana?
Yes.
So what do we use it for? What is the purpose?
So I think it's a fund set aside to serve as a reserve when, as let's say, we are mining the gold and the oil. When those resources are no more there, then we fall on them. So it's just a portion of those revenue we get from those resources will be deposited into that fund.
Are you sure?
I think I'm talking about heritage fund.
I'm trying.
Okay, what you are saying will be a special fund or yeah, that's what my brother is saying. You see, the sinking fund is purposely for debt, for paying of debts, foreign debt or local debt. So if the government want to pay debt that we are owing, we set up a sinking fund. It's a special fund where it is being set for only what? Payment of what? Debt or redemption of what? Debt. So every year we will go and put a certain amount of money there towards the payment of our debt. This fund will not be touched because it is for debt redemption. So companies also do what we call a sinking fund. They will set aside a special fund. If you look at the question that we just saw, the company, the purpose is that they want to replace the assets in 3 years' time. What are we going to do? We can't be waiting till 3 years' time, then we raise money and go and buy. You can start depositing now. If you want to build a house, right now you have a plan of buying a car. Will you wait till you get the money the time that you want to buy the car? You will say that, okay, I want to buy the car in the 3 years' time. Then you'll be there, then 3 years' time, you go to a car shop and say you want to buy a car. What will you do? If you want to buy the car in 3 years' time, what are you going to do? What will you start doing today so that you can get a car?
Try to know the value of the car you want to buy and
Okay.
start making savings towards that.
It means that you start saving today towards the value of the car you want to what? You want to purchase. So if you are doing this, that you are going to take an investment plan where every year or every month you'll be putting a certain amount of money there towards the acquisition of the car. The investment that you are doing is what we call a sinking fund because you are doing it purposely for acquisition of the car. It's for a purpose. So companies also do this. They want to acquire plants in 5 years' time. How do we do that? Let's start contributing small towards that. That's what we call the sinking fund. And sinking fund is always about future value because the thing that we are going to undertake, the car that you are going to buy will be in the future. So sinking fund is always about future value. So you can decide to be doing it at the beginning of every period or at the end of every period. But what you are going to be looking at is future value because the event will happen in the future. So the sinking fund, the formula that we use is future value. The future value can be Annuity due can be ordinary annuity. That is the sinking fund. The question under sinking fund, let's take two questions under sinking fund. Then we look at loan amortization. Let's take two questions under sinking fund. Then we move on to the loan amortization. Okay. Let's take the question. Okay, I'll leave the, okay. Let's take question 1 and 3.
The one from the illustration of the tutorial.
No, the illustrative questions under sinking fund.
Okay. A customer has instructed his bankers to transfer 400 Ghana cedi from his current account to his savings account at the end of each year for 4 years. Interest rate on savings is 10% per annum. What is the size of the savings account at the end of the 4th year? Show sinking fund schedules to show the growth of the fund.
Okay. So in this case, what are they asking us to find at the end of the 4 years?
The amount that we have been able to accumulate.
And that in financial management, how can we call that amount?
Future value.
Future value. And this one, they are going to be transferring what, 400 cedis at the end of every year. This is annuity, isn't it? And which type of annuity is this?
Ordinary.
Ordinary annuity, because the transfer will be done at the end of what, each year for 4 years. So let's now calculate that by writing the formula for question 1. So future value is equal to C into bracket 1 plus R exponent n minus 1 all divided by R. This is the future value of ordinary annuity. So the question now is, we don't know the amount in 4 years time, but we know how much will be what transfer every year. So what do we have? 400 into bracket 1 plus, what is the rate?
10%.
0.1 exponent 4. Am I correct?
Yes, the number of years.
All divided by 0.1. So you can show another next step, which is 400 into bracket 1.1 exponent 4 minus 1 divided by 0.1. Okay. So what will be the answer? This one you can just write the answer down. So maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 steps will be okay. 3 steps, the final answer. How much are we having?
So,
Yes, please.
please, I lost. Please, which question are you solving now?
Question 1, under sinking fund.
Okay.
Okay, I got 2042.04.
Okay. 2042.04, isn't it?
Yes, that's what
Okay.
I got.
They say that we should show the growth of the what? Of the fund. I will show you how we show the growth of the fund. So we show the growth by putting years here. Then we look at the amount. Then we look at the interest. We look at the balance at the end, amount at the beginning, then amount at the end. So the beginning, I'll put AB here. So let's look at year 1. year one, are we going to have any amount at the beginning? Will the person be having any amount in the account, in the new account at the beginning of the year? Will the person be
No.
having the savings account? Will the person be having any amount there?
No.
So for that matter, there won't be any interest. Are you okay? So interest will also be zero. By the end of the year, what will happen?
There is 400 savings.
They will now transfer the money, 400. And this 400 will become what? Opening balance for what? Year what?
Following year.
Year four.
Year
Which
two.
will attract interest of what?
10%.
10%. That will give us what? 40. Are you okay? Okay. So what will be
Hello,
the
sir.
yes, please.
Please, for the present, for the future value, I want to know if, because I didn't get the 2,400 and 2,042 4%. I didn't get that.
What did you get?
I got 1,856.4.
0.4. Yeah, that's what I got.
I also got the same thing.
Okay. So, okay, maybe my brother was using annuity due. Supposed to be 400 multiplied by the bracket. Okay. 18 what? 56.4.
0.4.
Okay. So, see, Abubakar, try and do it and see. 04.
Yes. Maira.
Okay. So let's now come to how we show the growth of the sinking fund. We draw a table to show how the fund will grow. So the first thing is this will be invested for 4 years. So the question now is at the beginning of the first year, will the person be having any deposit in the savings account? No, because they say the money will be transferred at the end of every year. So at the beginning of the first year, there won't be any amount. The bank will not transfer any amount to the account. But at the end of the first year, the bank will now make the deposit of 400. You can't earn interest on the amount, the end amount, which is 400. No, you only earn interest from the beginning to the year. This amount has not been in the account for any days or any years under the first year. So the bank will now make the transfer at the end of this, which will now be 400. So at the beginning of second year, this 400 will now become a balance in the second year, which will now be there to the end of the second year. That is 1 year, which will earn interest of 10%, 40. Okay. At the end of the second year, the total amount that you'll be having will be 400 plus 40, isn't it? But what will the bank do again? At the end of the
They'll
second year,
transfer another 400.
so what will be the total balance over here? It will be 840. It will be 400 plus 40 plus the balance that the bank will transfer. Okay. At the beginning of the third year, how much will be the figure? It will be 840. Are we okay? This 840 will now attract interest of what? 10%, which is what? 84.
84.
Okay. At the end of the third year, the amount will now be 840 plus 84. Then the bank will now do additional transfer of 400. So your total amount will be 840 plus 84 plus 400. What are you getting?
1324.
Okay. So at the beginning of the fourth year, your balance will now be 1324. Then this will earn interest of what? 10%. That will be 132.4. And your balance at the end of the year will now be 1324 plus 132.4 plus the 400 that the bank will bring at the end of the year. What are you going to get? It will be 856.
18564.
Okay. So this is how the money will grow. This is how we see the sinking fund schedule. We pick another question and still show it again. Okay. The question can also tell you that if the investment or if the deposit is done at the end of every year, it means at the beginning of the first year, they will have 400, which will earn interest. Then this will be 440. Then at the end of this year, it will be 840, like that. Okay, let's pick a question and see how we can go about that. Question 3.
Question 3.
Okay.
Clean Bond Limited has bought an asset with a lifespan of 4 years. At the end of the 4 years, a replacement of the asset will cost 12,000 Ghana cedi. In this direction, the company has decided to provide for this future commitment by setting up a sinking fund account into which equal annual investments will be made at the end of each year. Interest rate on the investment will be 12% per annum. Calculate the annual installment. Draw up the sinking fund schedule to show the growth of the fund.
Okay. So the
That's
first thing
it.
that they are saying that we should find the annual installment. What are they asking us to find? What are they asking us to find? They are asking us to find the amount that we put in there at the end of every year, isn't it? Okay. The 12,000 in the question. What is that 12,000?
The future value.
That is a future value. So this is annuity, ordinary annuity. So we can say future value is equal to, mostly if you see the sinking fund formula, it is A. The A is the same as the C. So don't be confused there. 1 plus R exponent N minus 1 divided by R. Okay. Now they are asking us to find the A, which is the annual amount that we'll be investing. We don't know that, but we know the future value to be 12,000. We know the R and we know the N. So we now make the A the subject. So we have 12,000. We now have 12,000 is equal to A multiplied by 1 plus 0.12 exponent what? 4 minus 1, all divided by 0.12. I hope the interest rate is 12%, okay? And the number of years is 4. So you can also make A the subject by doing this. So 12,000 multiplied by 0.12 is equal to, the LCM is this one. So you cross multiply. You cross multiply. This will multiply this, this will multiply this. So you have A into brackets 1 plus, let me just put it straightforward. 1.12 exponent 4 minus 1. Then you can now divide both sides by 1.12 exponent 4 minus 1. You can do it like that and get the answer straightforward. If you like, you can do it one by one. So anyhow you make the A the subject and get the answer is your problem, not ours. So do that and get the A for us so that we can draw the sinking fund schedule. That we getting? I got 2513. Is that correct?
I also had 2508.7. 1.
So I add 2510.8.
Okay, 2510.
I also got the same.
So you can see that we are having the problem is due to the approximation, isn't it?
Mm.
Okay, so that is not bad. Let's now draw the schedule. Let's now draw the sinking fund schedule. Sinking fund schedule. Sinking fund schedule. Okay, with the sinking fund schedule, we have the years, we have the amounts at the beginning, we have the interest, we have the transfer. Let me put transfer here. Then we have amounts at the end. Okay, this will all come with the currency. Okay, we start with the year 1. Are they doing the deposit at the end of the year or at the beginning of the year?
And
So it means that at the beginning we are not going to have any balance on our accounts, isn't it? Since we don't have any balance, there won't be any interest. By the end of the year, we do a transfer of 2513, and that will also be the closing balance, 2513. At the beginning of year 2, what will be the balance on the accounts? At the beginning of year 2, what will be the balance on the accounts? At the beginning of,
2513.
okay, and this will attract interest of what? What will be the interest of this?
12%.
12%.
So what will be the interest on it?
12%.
302.
302. Okay. What will be the transfer? 2513. So what will be the total amount at the end of the second year? It will be the balance that we have plus the interest plus the transfer that will come in. That will give us what?
5328.
5328. I hope we are all okay with that side. 5328. What will be the balance at the beginning of the third year?
5328.
5328. What will be the interest on it? The transfer will always be the same. So you can put the transfer 2513 here. What will be the interest on it?
679.
679. So what will be the total?
It's 639.
639. So what will be the total amount at the end of the third year?
$84.80.
84.80. Okay. You have to make sure that at the end of the year, the amount that we should get will be 12,000, isn't it? At the end of the fourth year, the amount that we should have on the account should be 12,000. Let's come here. What will be the opening balance here? 8480. So the question now is, this is the amount. If you have interest, then we now do the deposit. If you add it, we get 12,000. So the easiest way to go about this is that if you don't know, you calculate 12% on this and you add, it might be higher than the 12,000. So just what is the balance on the account at the end, at the beginning of the fourth year? Add the transfer to it and subtract the answer from the 12,000. The figure over there will give you the interest. So we have 8480. We do additional transfer, which is 2513.
Please take that again.
I'm saying that and this under normal circumstance, we should have calculated 12% on this, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what did you get? Calculate the 12%. Let me put the figure there. So that way.
1018.
10.
180.
8.
Okay. That is the figure. Hey, add all and see.
You get 12,011.
12,000 and what?
And
11.
11.
How much we supposed to get at the end of the 4 year?
12,000.
12,000. But you can see that you are getting something on it, isn't it? That's why I'm saying that instead of you calculating the interest, don't do it. Just know that this is the amount on the account. If you add the transfer to it, you need to add interest to get 12,000. So what you do is that just do 8480 plus 12513, then you subtract the answer from the 12,000. The balance that you get over there will represent your interest. So 8480 plus 12 plus 2113 minus 12,000. What are you getting?
1007.
Okay, 100 what? 7. You can see that this has now
7.
reduced your interest by 11, isn't it? You can see that your interest has been reduced by what? 11. First, it was 1018. Now it is 1007. It has reduced by the 11. That 11 is the difference that we have gotten first. So if you get to this place, the last period, don't calculate the interest because the amount that you have to get at the end must be the same as the future value. So just add your balance at the beginning of the last year plus the transfer that you make minus the amount that you are expecting to get at the end of the last period. The difference, just put it there as the interest. Just put it there as the interest. Let's look at the B part of the question. What is the B part saying?
Okay, the B part says, assuming the first payment will be made now and 12 months thereafter.
Okay. What are they saying here? They are talking about which of the annuity?
We are talking about due, annuity due.
So our future value will be calculated as A, 1 plus R, 1 plus R, exponent n minus 1, all divided by R. So let's find our future value. Future value is 12,000. We don't know the A. We don't know the A. We don't know the A. But we know that this is 1.12 into brackets 1.12 exponent 4 minus 1 divided by 0.12. So this is the same as 12,000 times 0.12. Adam,
Please, the amount, is it multiplying the numerator or the whole fraction?
it is multiplying only the numerator.
Only the numerator. Okay.
Yes, please. All right. So we have A into brackets 1.12 multiplied by 1.12 exponent 4 minus 1. So let's divide both sides by 1.12 into brackets 1.12 exponent 4 minus 1. Let's divide all of this one by that 1.12 into brackets 1.12 exponent 4 minus 1. What are you getting as the A?
188.92.
188.
1888.92.
188.92. Okay. Can someone confirm that? Can someone confirm that? Is it confirmed?
We are on it.
Okay.
Yeah, they say I also got the same amount.
Okay. So two people, we are okay. Let's look at the sinking fund schedule. Let's look at the sinking fund schedule. So how are they doing it? They are depositing the money at the beginning of every year, isn't it? Okay. So it means that at the beginning of the first year, are we going to have any amount on the account?
Yes, we will have the first
Deposit, which will be
depositing.
168.92. And this will generate interest of 12%. So let's find the 12% on that.
Two 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 226.67.
22,
6.67.
is it 2,000 or 200?
226.67. 67.
0.67. Okay. Would there be any transfer at the end? No. The transfer is done at the beginning, isn't it? So this will be dash. What will be the balance on the account at the end of the first year? What will be the balance on the account at the end of the first year?
2115.
Two,
0.59.
2115 point what?
5.559.
Okay. What will be the balance on the account at the beginning of the second year? It will be 2115.59 plus what?
Transfer.
The transfer. So
Plus
it will be
188.
0.92, isn't it? So what will be the total amount there?
$4004.51.
4004 point what? 51.
51.
This will attract interest of 12%. So what will be the interest?
480.54.
48.
0.54.
Okay. There won't be any interest there won't be any deposit at the end. So what will be the total amount on the account at the end of the second year?
4485.05.
4485.05. What will be the opening balance now?
6373.97.
6373.97. What will be the interest?
764.88.
764.87. What will be the total amount at the end?
$638,161.87.
638.
Yes.
63. No, it cannot be 638. It will be like 7,000 something.
7138.85.
713.
8.85.
Okay. 713.85. Okay. The third year, the last year, what will be the balance?
The balance as stats should be 9027.77.
9027.77.
27.77.
What will be the interest?
So we deduct from the 12,000 the last year so that I can get the
No. The interest
Okay.
cannot be that much for this year. It means that the 188.92 is wrong. Calculate
No,
the
I'm saying that
The
calculate
interest is
is what?
1088.73.
Okay, but you know that the last year, we need to get 12,000. So if you add that to this one,
12,000, yes.
you can't get a 12,000. So it means that the 188
Yes.
that you have gotten is not the right one.
Yes, I did not have the same thing.
Yeah.
I didn't get the same thing.
What did you get? What did you get?
Please, I'm coming.
Okay.
I had 2241.79.
2241. 2241.
12% on
2241.79.
9 something.
2241.79.
Sir,
Yeah.
can you go back?
Is it?
The 12% on 9 something won't give you 22 something.
The 9 points. No, it's not that one. She's talking about the A, the equal amount.
The
So
A.
try the equal amount again. 1.1. Try the A again.
Yeah, it's
The A is what?
1888.92.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, that's what I've got.
Let me confirm. No, I'm getting 2242.9. So what this thing, what our mom is saying is correct. I'm getting 2242.9. So we do it. What you are going to do is that you first subtract 1 from this answer before you multiply it by this. So it is not this plus this times this all minus 1. No, it is only this minus 1 before you multiply this.
Oh, okay.
Can we redo that and confirm? Can we confirm that?
I just got it too, but you see, I was asking about if A multiplying the top one or the whole distance, the whole fraction.
Says confirm
Yeah.
2241.7.
Hello, Linus.
Yes, please.
So when I was asking about the A multiplying the whole fraction or the numerator, when I did the A multiplying the whole fraction, I got what she got. But when I did the reverse one, the A multiplying the numerator, I was getting the 188.92. That's why I was confused with the first one that we saw. The thinking from the first question that we saw. So I don't know which one is right.
The A is over 1.
The A is over 1.
So if the A is over 1, you see that the A will multiply only in the numerator.
Okay, so what I did was, I don't know if I was right. What I did was, the A times all the brackets, then I will get a fraction. Then I will divide the fraction
by
by the.
0.12.
So I was getting the whole fraction, A times the whole fraction, which was 5.35. Then I made A the subject, and then I divided the fraction by the 12,000. Then I got the answer she got. The 2241. But when I did it, the reverse one, I got the 188.92. So I'm a bit confused here.
Do 1.12.
1.12.
Okay, exponent 4 minus 1.
Okay, so as we were saying, the second one, the second bracket is standing on its own.
Yes.
So the 1.12 raised to the power 4 minus 1. You have to do that one before
you multiply by the 1.12.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, so I think when we do it like that, we are getting the 2241.79.
Yeah. You do the 1.12 first, exponent 4 minus 1, because that is a term on its own before you come and multiply by the 1.12 attached to the A.
Yes.
Don't do 1.12 times 1.12 exponent 4 before you come and subtract 1 from all of them. No.
Okay.
All right. So it is 2241.79, isn't it? So now the beginning, this will be 2241.79. So what will be the interest on it? I hope right now you can do it. The way we did it, you can, the interest, then you add it, you bring the transfer, you add the transfer to the opening amount or the closing amount, then you do it one by one. At the end of the day, you get the closing. Okay, let's do it. The interest on this one. What will be the interest on that one? 12% on that.
Honestly, should we run it up to 2 decimal places before?
Yes, please.
Oh,
yes,
then it will be 2241.80.
Okay, 2241.80.
Mm.
This one, if you like, you can also run it to the nearest one, 2242. So that all your figures will be in the nearest city, not decimal. The decimal sometimes can cause this thing. So let's just make it to the nearest Ghana city, 2242. So that will be running all of our distance to the nearest city. So 12% on this will give us what?
269.
269. So what will be the amount at the end?
Two five one one.
2511.
2511. You can also get the end amount by doing 1.12 times 2242. Not that you should add again. Because you know that the amount will increase by the 12%, which is 12 plus 1. 1.12 multiplied by the beginning amount. You get 2511. Straightforward. Not that you come and add again. So at the beginning of the second year, it will be this amount plus the what? Plus the deposit. So that will give us how much?
4753.
4753. This will earn interest of what?
570.
570. So if you add, what are we getting?
Five three two three.
5323. Okay. What will be the beginning amount?
7565.
7565. What will be the interest on it? 12%.
908.
908. What will be the end amount?
8473.
8473. The beginning amount will be what?
10715.
107
715.
3. So what do we do?
No, 15. 10715.
Okay. So what do we do? This stage, what do we do to get the interest? 10715 dash 12,000.
Yeah.
So what do we do to get the interest?
Subtract.
Okay. So if you subtract, what are you getting?
1285.
1285. You see that if you calculate 12% on this, it will be higher than this. And if you add, it will be more than 12,000. But we want to get 12,000 at the end. So if you get to this stage, just subtract the amount from the 12,000 because you need interest to add to this and get a 12,000. So how much should you add to the 10,715 to get a 12,000? Just subtract the 10,715 from the 12,000 to get the amount of interest that you'll be getting. Let's look at what we call loan amortization. So this is all about the sinking fund. Sinking fund.
Even this one, when you do the 12% on the 10715,
Yeah.
it's almost the same. It's 1285.8.
0.8. Yeah.
If you
So
run it,
let's
if you
say
run it, it will be 12.
point the margin is just
Yeah, so it will be 1.
1286. Yeah.
So there to be at the surface side, just subtract and put the interest there. Okay.
Okay.
So this is all about the sinking fund. The sinking fund will always be talking about future value. But this future value can be ordinary annuity or annuity due. So you ask yourself, what are they asking you to find? If they are asking you to find the equal amount, it means that they are asking you to find the A. But if they have given you the equal amount and they are now asking you how much will be gotten at the end of the maturity period, then you have to know that they are asking you for a future value with the A. All right, let's look at loan amortization. Let's look at loan amortization. Let's look at loan amortization. Okay, we want to look at how whenever you go to the bank to take loan, how they calculate the loan and they will give you the amount that you'll be paying at the end of every month or at the end of every year. Okay, if you go to the bank right now and they give you 30,000, this 30,000, is it a future value or a present value?
Present value.
Okay, but you'll be paying equal amount at the end of every month or at the end of every year, depending on how the loan will be paid, isn't it?
That's
So
correct.
the equal amount that you'll be paying indicates what? Annuity. But the loan that you are going to take, the amount that you'll be taking today is a present value. So for loan amortization, we use present value of annuity. The present value can be ordinary or it can be annuity due, depending on how you are going to pay the loan. Are you going to be paying at the beginning of the period or at the end of the period? But whichever be the case, you are going to use present value because you'll be giving the loan amount today. So how much, based on the amount that you have taken today, how much you'll be paying every year so that you pay the interest together with the principal for the 3 years or for the 4 years. So for loan amortization, we use present value of annuity. The present value can be either annuity due or ordinary annuity. That is all about the loan amortization. We pick question and we also look at how the bank normally amortize your loan payments. Let's pick the first question and okay, let's pick the first 2 questions. Then we solve the last sitting question, which is question 10. Then maybe if you have time, you solve additional 1 question addition. Then that is the end. Okay.
Example 1.
Okay.
Ms. Alassane borrowed 200 million from her bankers to buy her dream house. Repayment is over 4 years, and first payment is due 1 year from hence. As in from now, she will make equal payment to amortize both the principal and the interest. which is calculated on a reducing balance basis. The bank will charge 5% above its current base rate of 23% per annum.
Okay.
Calculate Miss Allison's annual payment. Show by a table how the annual payment will liquidate the loan and interest.
Okay. So how much is she borrowing now?
200 million.
And for how many years? She's going to pay this amount of money for how many years?
4 years.
How would the payment be done? At the end of every year or at the beginning?
I think at the end of the year.
Yes, they are saying it's due 1 year
Due
from
1
now.
year from hence, yeah.
So 1 year from now is next year by this time.
Nothing.
Okay. She will make equal payment to amortize both the principal and the interest, which is calculated on reducing balance basis. So sometimes what some banks will do is that whether you pay or not, they will still calculate the interest on the principal. But some of the banks, what they will do is that after paying, the amount that is left on your account will be the amount that they are going to calculate the interest on. So they calculate interest on the balance. But some of the banks, they calculate the interest on the principal, whether you have paid or not. They will still calculate the interest on the principal. But what they are saying over here is that the interest is calculated on the remaining balance. On the remaining balance. What will be the interest that they will be charging her? What is the interest rate?
The bank will charge 5% above its current base rate of 23%. So I think they will charge a 28%.
They will charge 28%. So this is ordinary annuity, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we use present value of ordinary annuity to find the equal amount. So our present value is equal to, you can use the C, which into brackets 1 minus 1 plus R exponent negative n divided by R. Okay. The present value now is what? What is the present value in the question?
200 million.
So we have 200 million here. Is equal to, we don't know the C. So we have C into brackets 1 minus 1 plus 0.28 divided exponent 4 all divided by 0.28. Okay. So C will be 1 minus 1.28 exponent 4 all divided by 0.28. Okay. So we can also say this is 0.28. 0.28 times 200 million is equal to C into brackets 1 minus 1.28 exponent 4. So we divide both sides by 1 minus 1.28 exponent 4. 1 minus 1.28 exponent 4. What are you going to get for the C?
$89.29.
59 points.
89.
Okay. 89 point what?
29.
29 million. Okay, can we make it 89 points? Approximately 89.3 million.
No, it is 89.285.
Okay, but we can still make it 89.3 since the number at the second decimal place is higher than 5. We just add 1 to the 2 to make it 3. I mean it's 28 something. Yeah, Adam.
Yes.
Yeah, Adam.
Hello.
Yes, please.
I've not raised my hand.
Your hand is up. Okay.
Hey, it's not me. Oh.
Yeah, the two of you, one person's hand is also up. Adam, your hand is
Yeah,
still
it's
up.
me.
Yes, and
Ah,
Adam.
okay.
Please, the 4, the
Okay.
exponent 4.
Yes.
I saw a negative sign,
Yes.
but moving down.
Yeah, this is a negative 4. Yeah, it's supposed to be negative 4. It's
And
an
then down there too.
yeah, it's supposed to be negative 4 throughout. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
But I hope that you have all gotten the 89.3.
I'm in the process.
Okay, continue. Finish that.
89.247. So 89 point. I don't know why.
It's 247.
Okay. I use the whole decimal. So I think some people also converted. So
Okay,
that's why.
this one, the easiest way to go about this, just find the annuity factor. Then you divide it by the present value. You can see that the formula over there is the annuity factor. So just find the annuity factor to 3 decimal places and divide it by, and use it to divide the present value. Okay, let's now look at how we amortize the loan. How we amortize the loan. So the loan amortization. This one, they can also tell you that the loan will be paid what? Quarterly or semi-annually. You will still use your divided by 2 divided by 4 for all of them. So it will follow the same principle like the compound interest. Okay, so let's see whether we can get a question that it will be annually or semi-annually or quarterly. Let's come here. We put the years here. Then we put the amount. Then we put the interest. Then they can also ask you to do the principal payments and then the interest payments. So the principal, then we look at the interest payments. Let me just write it short so that we can use all these please. So amount will be M, interest will be M. Then we have the principal payments, which is P. Then we have the interest payments. Then we have the balance on the accounts. This will all be in Ghana City. Okay. Year 1, how much will you be owing the bank? Year 1. How much is the loan amount? How much will you be paying the interest on year 1? If I've given you 200 million, you start paying interest on which amount? Okay, you start paying interest on the 200 million. How much will be the interest that you pay? What is the interest rate?
28%. So you pay 56.
So it will be 56.
Interest is 56.
Okay. But how much are we paying at the end of the year?
89.3.
So out of the 89, we are paying 56 for interest. And what will be the capital payment? We are paying 89.3. And out of that, we are paying 56 as interest. So the remaining of that.
166.7.
Are you sure? We are paying 89.3. That is the amount that we are paying.
From the amount and then the
200.
interest.
The amount will be 200.
No, the
Plus
loan
the
is
interest.
the loan is 200, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
We are paying interest of 56. By the end of the year, we agreed that we are going to be paying 89.3. That is the amount that we'll be paying towards the payment.
So we are going to pay 33.3.
33.3.
33 point what?
Right.
3.
That is the principal payment. So if you add the 2, you get your 89 point what? 3. So the amount that we are paying, 56 million of it is for the interest payments. The remaining one is for the principal payments. So what will be the balance on the account now? The balance is supposed to be 256, but we have paid 89.3 out of it. So what will be the balance now?
166.7.
166 point what? 7.
7.
And that will be 166 point what? 7. We charge interest. What will be the interest?
$46.48.
46.
Please take that again. Oh.
You are owing me 200 million.
Okay.
And at the end of the year, you're supposed to pay me interest 56, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you didn't pay me any amount at all, how much are you going to be owing me? If you don't pay me anything, how much will you be owing me at the end of the year?
200.
200 plus the interest.
Which is how much?
256.
But you have now agreed to pay me 89.3 at the end of every month, isn't it?
Okay.
If after paying the 89.3, what will be the balance now you'll be owing me?
Okay.
Have you gotten that?
Yeah.
So if I want to charge you interest, what amount am I going to charge the interest on next year? It's not the amount that you are currently owing me.
Yeah, the balance.
Okay. So charge the 28% on that. Let's see.
So 47.
47. Okay. But at the end of the year, what are you going to do? You will still pay 89.3. And the 89.3, 47 will be for interest. Are we okay with that side?
Yeah.
Okay. So what will be the principal payment?
$42.3.
42.3. What will be the amount that you'll be owing me at the end? You're supposed to be pay me 166 and I charge you interest 47. So the amount that you should be paying me, if you don't pay me anything, will be 166.7 plus 47. But you have paid 89.3. So how much will you be owing me now?
$77.37.
77.37. Okay. 77.37. Okay. So let's come to the interest. So 77.37. Are we
Please
sure?
go over the second line again.
Are we sure the 89.9?
It's wrong.
I'm getting 124.1.
It's
The
124.
77 is wrong.
The 77
It's
is wrong.
124.4.
It's wrong, yes.
So I'm trying to doubt. How come in the third year, the loan that you're supposed to pay, are you using Juju? The loan that you're supposed to pay in fourth year, you are using 3 years to pay. How come? So it is what? What is the amount?
124.4.
124.4. Okay.
Okay.
So you can see that someone is saying that I should go over this thing again. So the person who said I should go over, are you okay now?
Oh yeah, it's okay. Because that's what I got. So I was wondering.
So what will happen? You pay interest on this amount, isn't it?
Yes.
And then the interest will be how much?
35.
35. So out of this 89.3, 35 will be for interest. What will be the principal payment?
54.3.
54.3. So how much will be the balance that you'll be owing the person at the end of the
But you are beg, wait. You approximate the thing to 35, like you run it to 35. So it's supposed to be 54. So remove the 0.3.
Okay.
Because of the
No, it's 89.3. The amount that we are paying is 89.3.
it's 89.3.
Okay. 35. I use 89. That's
Okay.
one.
Okay. So what will be the this thing that you'll be owing the person now at the end of the third year?
$70.1.
70.1. Okay.
I'm also getting 70.
70.1. Okay, what's supposed to be the interest? You have to know that at the end of the day, you pay the person what? 89.3. Okay, so the principal payment is supposed to be 70.1, and the interest supposed to be the remaining one. So what will be the remaining figure from the interest?
90.6.
19 point what?
So
6.
20.
It should be 19.2. Don't make it 6.
Okay.
Because if you add the interest to this one, it's supposed to give you 89.3. That is the final payment that you are going to make. So you ask yourself, how much will you add to this amount now so that it will give you the amount that you're supposed to pay? Because you are using 4 years to pay. So at the end of the fourth year, you should be owing the person 0. So don't calculate the interest on this. If you calculate and add, it will be more than the amount that you're supposed to pay. So this is the principal. If you add interest, then you get the amount that you're supposed to pay, which is 89.3. So how much should I add to the principal? That will give me 89.3. That is the interest. So if you take loan from the bank, this is how they calculate it to know the amount that you should be paying at the end of every month. This is how they amortize your loan. So if you are going to the bank, they give you the rate, they give you the number of duration. You can calculate the amount that you'll be paying every year yourself, and the interest too. Not that they will do anything and maybe they will cheat you or something. Especially these small ones, these small credit unions and those things. The interest rate that they will give to you. I was doing the calculation for someone. I realized that no, the interest that he's paying is more than everything. But I can't say anything because I didn't tell him to go and borrow money. Me too, I just keep quiet. All right. This is how we amortize the loan. Can we pick a question again? Okay, let's pick the question 2. Then we now move on to question let's pick the question 2, then we pick question 10. We now look at the question.
Question 2 or example 2.
Example
You
2.
have applied to your bankers for a loan of 30,000 to complete your dream house. For deductions to be made over 3-year equal annual installments. Your bankers, however, maintained that your 40% annual salary, which amounts to 12,000, cannot meet both the principal and the interest payments. It is the bank's policy to maintain a debt service ratio of 40%. Interest charged by the bank is 18% per annum. A. Calculate the size of the loan you qualify for.
Prepare amortization table to show how the loan will be liquidated. Okay. So let's read the question again. You have applied to your bankers for a loan of what? 30,000 to complete your dream house, for deductions to be made over 3 years, equal annual installments. The bankers have, however, maintained that your 40% annual salary, however, maintain that your 40% annual salary, which amounts to 12,000, cannot meet both the principal and the interest payments. It is a bank policy to maintain a debt service ratio of 40%. Interest charged by the bank is what? 18% per annum. So you have applied. Some people, hey, you want to build a house with a loan at St. Benny. Okay. So the bank is saying that for any loan that they are going to give, they can only give the loan up to what? 40% of your annual what? Salary, isn't it? Okay. But the bank have now realized that 40% of your annual salary is not 30,000. So we can't give you 30,000. we can't give you the 30,000. So how much, like, what will be the amount of the loan that the person qualify for? What will be the amount that the bank will give to the person as their loan?
12,000.
They will give 12,000 as a loan to you because that is the one that you qualify for. And that is the 40% of your annual salary. And it is the policy of the bank to maintain 40% debt service ratio. So you can only take a loan up to 40% of your annual salary. So the loan that the person will be taking over here will be 12,000. So they're now saying that calculate the size of the loan you qualify for. Calculate the size of the loan you qualify for. Calculate the size of the loan you qualify for. But this is supposed not to be the question that they calculate the size of the loan you qualify for. It's saying that there's no calculation for this. However, your bankers, maintain that your 40% annual salary, which amount to 12,000, cannot meet both the principal and the interest payment. It is a bank policy to maintain a debt service ratio of 40%. Interest charged by the bank is 18% per annum. So this one, what would they say you should calculate? The question is supposed to be calculate the equal amount that you should be paying or something like that. Okay, since they say calculate the size of the loan you qualify for, that is 12,000. You qualify for only 12,000, which is the 40% of your annual salary. Okay. Let's now prepare the amortization table. The question now is you can't prepare the amortization table without knowing the amount that you'll be paying at equal installments, which is annually. So you can't prepare the amortization table without knowing how much you should be paying at the end of every year. So you have to calculate the amount, although they didn't ask you, but you have to calculate the amount, which will be present value. Okay, calculate the amount. Yeah.
So the first part of the question, wouldn't it be that you apply to your bankers for a loan of 30,000 to complete your dream house for deduction to be made over 3 years? So the 30,000 for 3 years, which will be 10,000 for each month.
The 30,000 is the loan that you want to take right now, where they are going to do deduction.
Okay.
They are going to do the deduction towards the 30,000 for 3 years. It means that you are going to pay the 30,000 over 3 years.
Okay. So in that case, if we are taking the 30,000, how much principal and interest? What will be the sum? But if you add the principal and the interest, and if it exceeds 12,000, then it means he cannot meet it. So I think we have to look at the total principal and the interest that he needs to pay. If it exceeds that 40% of his salary, then it means he's not qualified. So we need to get that figure first. That's what I also think.
You have applied to your bankers for a loan of what, 30,000 to complete your dream house for deduction to be made over 3 years, equal annual installments. Your bankers, however, maintain that your 40% annual salary, which amount to 12,000, cannot meet both the principal and interest payments. Okay? Cannot meet both the principal and then the interest payments. It is the bank policy to maintain a debt service ratio of 40%. Interest charged by the bank is 18%. Okay. So the amount that you'll be paying equally is 12,000. The amount that you should be paying every year will be 12,000. So what loan can the 12,000 afford you now? What loan are you going to take? And the 12,000, you'll be paying 12,000 every year. What loan will you take and you'll be paying 12,000 every year? Okay, that is the understanding of the question. Okay, your annual salary, which amount to 12,000, 40% of your 12,000 cannot meet both the principal and then the interest payment. So what loan will you take? And every year you'll be paying 12,000. That is the question that they're asking. Okay, okay, all right, all right, all right, all right, okay. So we now have to find a present value because the loan will be taken today. So we have 12,000, which will be the equal payment I will be doing 1 minus 1 plus, what is the interest rate?
18%.
So 0.18 exponent 3 divided by 0.18. Okay. Minus 3 exponent 3 negative 3. English is also another issue. You have applied to your bankers for a loan of 30,000 to complete your greenhouse. Deductions to be made over 3 years equal annual installments. Your bankers, however, maintain that your 40% annual salary, which amount to 12,000, cannot meet both principal and annual interest. Okay. It is the bank policy to maintain a debt service ratio of 40% interest charged by the bank base. Okay. I hope this is the right way to go about it. 12,000 is the amount that you'll be paying. Okay. Let's find the present value. So maybe another step we'll do. Write the formula first. Maybe present value is equal to the C into bracket 1 minus 1 plus R exponent negative N all over R. Okay. Okay, let's move on. What is the present value? Let's just find the annuity factor. 3 decimal place.
2.174.
2.174. So let's multiply now. What are we getting?
26091.
091.
091. Okay.
7.
Let's just make it to the nearest Ghana city. Okay.
Okay, so
So is it going to be 92?
No, 91.
Okay.
no, 91.
So the loan that you can take so that you'll be paying 12,000 every year is 26,091. Let's look at the loan amortization. So I have shown the principal and the interest payment first. So what I will do now is that I will not show the interest and principal again. I'll just show the full amount that you are paying. I'll just show the full amount that you are paying. Okay. So let's now come to the loan amortization table. Loan amortization table. Okay. We have the years. We have the amount, which is the loan. We have the interest. Then we have the payments. Then we have the balance. Don't forget to put a currency sign at the top because you work on currency. The loan question was examined only once. Issue about loan was examined once. And the time value of money will always come for 10 marks, which will be calculation, purely calculation, or they will add some theory to it. We look at the last sitting question and we see how we can go about it. So what is the amount now? Currently, what is the amount? 26091. What will be the interest on it? 18% on that. And at the end of the year, we pay 12,000. So the 12,000, you can just put it in brackets or 12,000. I have to make sure that at the end of the year to be dashed. So what will be the interest on that? 18% on 26,091.
4696.
4696.
Nice.
So what will be the balance at the end? You have paid 12,000 out of this amount.
So 21395.
21395. Okay, so 21395. What will be the interest on it? 28%.
So the interest is 18%, not 28.
18% rather, sorry.
The interest will be
The balance.
The balance is what?
I got 18. I got
18.
18,787.
18. 7.
787.
Can someone confirm?
Okay.
That's
Okay.
correct.
Okay. Cinema, you have to work on how you punch your calculator because the difference are too much. In the exam hall, you come out and see me. How was the paper? Oh, say I've killed it. No knowing. You have killed it, but you haven't killed with the figures. You see, sometimes you know the thing, but how you punch the calculator is another issue. But this one for FM, they'll always attach formula sheet to it. So you can look for the paper and you can look for the hard copy of FM, any question paper, then you familiarize yourself with the formula table there. Although those are the formulas that we are going to write over here, but some of them over there will be different. So if you can practice more and keep these ones, it will be better for you down. Because some of the things that they will do over there, you haven't seen them before. Okay. Let's come to the interest on this one, 18%. What are we getting?
3382.
3382. So if you subtract, what will be the balance? So I'm owing you 187.87. I'm going to pay interest of 3382. Then I have paid 12,000.
So 10169.
10169. So 10169. So the difference will be the interest. What will be the difference?
1831.
1831. So that is all. You have finished paying the amount. I hope we are okay with how the loan amortization table is being prepared. If you are not okay, then I will explain it again.
Please,
okay?
kindly take it again.
Okay. I will not explain the loan amortization table. You are owing me 26,091. And we agreed that at the end of every year, I should charge you interest of 18%. Okay. What will be the interest that you are going to pay on this amount? Would that be 4696?
Okay.
Would that be 4696?
Yes.
Okay. So what is the total amount that you are owing me at the end of the year?
$30787.
30787.
7.
That is at the end of the year. But you have given me 12,000. So will you still be owing me the 30787?
No, I deduct it from it.
So how much will you be owing me now? So we subtract the
18,000.
12,000 from this one. So it will be
787.
18,787. So at the end of the year, this is the amount that you're supposed to pay me. But this amount has been with you for an additional 1 year again. It means that this will also generate interest of 18%. That will be 3382. So the total amount that you are going to be owing me will be this plus this. But you have paid 12,000 again. So your debt will now reduce by 12,000 again. Then what is the balance that you are owing me? You are going to take it to the next year and you pay at the end of the year. So it will attract interest again before you pay the 12,000. And Antina, I hope you're okay now.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay. So this one, don't try to memorize it. You can put yourself in the situation. You are owing someone. The money will be with you for some time. You pay interest. You have paid portion of it. It means that the portion that you have paid will reduce the amount. If the person wants to charge you interest, the person will charge interest on the remaining amount that you are owing. So if you want to pay the person, you pay the amount that you are owing from the beginning plus the interest. So any amount that you are going to pay will reduce your debt. That is how we do it. All right. Let's pick the question 10, tutorial question 10. Then we pick question 2C. Then that is the end. Or we go through some of the tutorial questions over here. I'll still give them to you as an assignment of the question 10.
Okay. Usiadan Contractors Limited plan to construct housing units in the Pong Katamanso district of Ghana for sale to young professionals. It has obtained a $4 million loan facility from the International Finance Corporation (IFC). The total principal granted will be released in 2 equal tranches. The first tranche to be released now and the second tranche at the beginning of the 4th year. Interest will be charged on the loan at 12% per annum with semi-annual compounding. The total principal granted plus the total interest is to be paid at the end of the duration of the loan in 6 years' time. To raise money towards the settlement of the maturity value of their loan, Usiadan Contractors Limited plans to establish a sinking fund by which it will deposit equal amounts of US dollars at the beginning of every quarter starting from the 3rd year until the end of the loan duration. The dollar deposit will be invested at 8% per annum with quarterly compounding. Compute the maturity value of the loan at the end of the 6th year. B. Compute the size of the quarterly deposit to be invested in the sinking fund to raise the amount needed to settle their maturity value of the loan. Compare and contrast annuity due and ordinary annuity.
Okay. You can see that this question is involving what? Compound interest and what? Sinking fund. Okay. Before you know the amount that you'll be saving towards, you have to first find the value of the amount or the value of the loan at the end of what? The 6th year, which they are asking you there. So you have to know an amount before you can start saving towards it. If you want to buy a car in 4 years' time, you can't just stand up and start saving towards the car. How much are you saving towards? You have to know the cost of the car in the 5 years' time, then you start saving towards it. So we have to know the total amount that we'll be owing these particular people at the end of the 6th year. After knowing that, then we can now make a plan and start saving towards that particular amount. They are saying that the loan amount will be released in 2 equal tranches. The first one should be released now, And the last one will be released at the beginning of the what? The
Fourth year.
Are we okay? So how much is the loan now? How much is the loan amount?
4 million.
So we are going to take 2 million now, isn't it?
Correct.
And that 2 million now will be with us for 6 years, isn't it?
Correct.
And you can see that they are not going to be taking any amount from the loan. All the loan and the principal will be paid at the end of what? The maturity period, which is 6 years. If you are putting an amount of money there, you are not taking any investment, that means that is a compound interest. So the first one is the first tranche. Let's find the future value of the first tranche. So let's look at the first tranche. The first tranche, which will be 4/2, which is $2 million. This amount will be with us for what? How many years? 6 years. So we have to know the future value of this. The future value of this will be calculated using compound interest. Because this is not equal amount that we are putting there. It's an amount that we went to borrow and we pay in 6 years' time. We are going to pay the interest together with what? The principal. So the assumption is that the interest together with the principal will roll over every year. That is compound interest. So future value will be equal to present value into brackets 1 plus R. This one, they are saying that it should be compounded what? Is it semi-annually?
Yes.
So divided by M, then N times what? M. Our future value can now be calculated as 2 million into brackets 1 plus, what is the simple, what is the interest rate for the borrowing?
12%.
So that would be 0.12 divided by what? 2.
2.
Okay. This will be 6 times what? 2.
2.
We are going to be paying this every 6 months. So how many 6 months? How many every 6 months we have in 6 years? That is 12. Every year we pay 2. So if you are doing 6, that will be 12. So future value is equal to the 2 million into brackets 1.06 exponent 12. Then what will be the future value?
1.06 is equal to over 2 times 2.
402.
402 million.
02.
4.02 or 402?
4.2. 4.02.
Okay. 4.02 million. That is the first tranche, isn't it? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let's now find the future value of the second what? Tranche. When are we going to start? When are we going to receive the second one?
The beginning of the 4th year.
The beginning of the what?
4th year.
The 4th year. So the beginning of the 4th year to the 6th year, how many years is that?
3 years.
That will be 3 years. So the future value of beginning of the 4th year will be, the 4th year is part 5th and 6th, that is 3 years. So we have the present value into bracket 1 plus R divided by M, N times M. So we have future value. This will also be 2 million. Am I correct?
Yes.
Then the equal installments 1 plus 0.12 divided by 2. Then this will now be what? 6. It will be, that will be this amount of money will be with us for only 3 years because we are going to receive it at the beginning of what? Year 4. It means that we are already done 3 years before they have given the money to us. And the total duration is 6 years. So this money will be with us for what? Only what? 3 years. And we are paying 2 times every year. So if you are going to pay 3 years, you pay 6 times in 3 years. So let's look at that. 2 million. Then we have 1.06 exponent 2. What are we going to have?
You're going to have 2.84.
2.84. I hope we are all okay with that. Okay. So what will be the total amount that we are going to pay? What will be the total amount that we are going to pay for the loan?
Total for tranche 1 and 2.
Okay, so it will be the total for tranche 1.
Please, sorry, where from the exponent 2?
Exponent 2 at where?
It should be exponent 6, the 1.06.
Okay. Exponent 6. The people are auditing power. Okay. So it will be the future value for the first one. How much are we paying for the first tranche? And how much are we paying for the second tranche? That will be the total amount that we will be owing. So let's do that and see. That will be 4.02 plus 2.84. That will be 6 point something.
86.
Okay. That is the first part of the question. So the A part will be future value, or the maturity value will be equal to 4.02 plus 2.84, which will give us in dollar, not cedi. So 6.86. That is the first part of the question, meaning. So the maturity value that they are asking you is that calculate the maturity value of the loan at the end of the 6 years. That is all. You do it one by one. It's just like compound interest. Whenever the question says you are going to pay the interest together with the principal at the end of the tenure of the loan, it means that this is compound interest. You are going to be rolling over the interest together with the principal. That is compound interest. So knowing this now, we know that we have to start saving towards what? 6.86 million. That is the amount that we are going to pay at the end of the 6 years. So we have to start saving towards this amount. So this is not the future value. When are they saying that we start saving? When are they saying that we start saving?
Okay, to raise
Okay.
money towards the settlement of the maturity of their loan, Osiadan Contractors plans to establish a sinking fund by which it will deposit equal amounts of US dollars at the beginning of every quarter, starting from the 3rd year until the end of the loan duration.
So
from year 3.
it will be done from year 3. And that the deposit will be done at the beginning. This is what? Annuity what?
Due.
Annuity due. This is annuity due. But how much are we planning towards? What is the future value now? What is our target?
6.83.
So our future value, which is the B part, we are doing sinking fund. So our future value will be equal to A into bracket 1 plus R. Am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
Because it will be done at the beginning of every one. So this is annuity due into bracket 1 plus R exponent n minus what? All minus 1 minus 1 divided by R. Okay, but they say this will be done quarterly, so we can divide by n
3.
at once. So divide by, is it going to be 3 or 4? It will be 4. Every year we have 4 quarters, so it will be divided by 4, not 3. Okay, so this will be m. So we can now put our future value here, which is into bracket 6.86, which will be A into bracket 1 plus, what is the interest rate for savings? Dollar savings is what?
8%.
8%.
So that will be
Quarterly compound.
That will be 0.08 divided by 4. Am I correct for the first one?
Yes.
Okay, into bracket 1 plus 0.08 divided by what? 4. We are going to start this at the beginning of what?
Year 3.
The third year.
Okay. How many years are we going to pay this money? It will be 6. It will be in the 6th year, isn't it? So if we are going to start saving at the beginning of what? The year 3, it means that how many years are we supposed to do these savings?
4 years.
4 years. So if that would be 4 years, this will be 4 times what?
4.
4. So it means that
Please come again with the last explanation.
The total duration for the loan is what?
6 years.
Okay. So we want to start saving, but the savings will be, we are going to start the savings at the what? The beginning of the 3rd year. It means that after we have taken the loan, we will start saving at the beginning of the 3rd year. It means that we have used 2 years of the loan period already. So at the beginning of the 3rd year, we start. But every year, we are paying 4 times. We are paying quarterly. So every year, we are paying 4 times. So every year, if we are paying 4 times and we are going to use 4 years, it means that how many times are we going to pay? It will be 16 times. If 1 year is 4, so it will be 4 times 4. Then all of this minus what? 1 divided by 0.08 exponent 4. Can we do that on the calculator straightforward? So our dollar will be 6.686 is equal to 1.02 into brackets 1.02 exponent 16 minus 1, all divided by 0.02. I hope 0.08 divided by 4 is 0.02.
Yes.
Okay. So let's do that and see. So we can say that we have 6.86 times 0.02 is equal to E into bracket 1.02 exponent 16 minus 1, all divided by 1.02 times 1.02 exponent 16 minus 1. 1.02 times 1.02 exponent 16 minus 1. What are we getting? What are we getting?
We are on it.
Okay. I hope the understanding is now clear. Okay. For the time value of money, the questions are always critical, which you need a deep what? Understanding. But understanding will come if you solve more questions. The understanding will come if you solve more questions. You can't just be in the class and say, oh, you have understood everything, that is the end. No. You see a question, if you don't take time, you'll be there, you don't know what to do. So the deep understanding is, the critical understanding is very key. Is very key. And this was a question for 10 marks last sitting.
Getting 0.36.
0.36. Hey.
I got the same thing.
0.36 million.
Yes.
I also got 0.82.
0.82. Okay. What you do again is that use the answer you have gotten as the A to find the future value and see whether you get a 6.86. So find the future. The 0.36 you will not get. So it means that the answer will not be the same. Let me also try on my phone and see. Okay. I'm getting 0.33 something. So maybe the people with a 0.36
I
might
got
be
0.36.
okay. So maybe the 0.36 might be correct. Okay.
Well, when you multiply, so it means this is the amount we are contributing for a quarter. So
Yes.
if you multiply this by 4, this figure 0.36 by 4 by 4,
No,
you
no,
should
no.
get
It will not be
around,
by 4 by 4. You still do it as if you are looking for future value. So the A now is a
okay,
0.36. So the A will now multiply everything over here to get a 6.86.
I will close my book.
0.36 is correct.
Is correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Another way of doing this is that after getting the 0.36, assume that the 0.36 is A, and now put the 0.36 in place of the A here, multiply by everything, and see you get 6.86.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
think
got
I'm getting
6.84 after
6.84.
working it backwards.
Okay. So it means that 0.36 is closer to correct. Okay.
Yeah.
Another way of doing it is that you can prepare the sinking fund schedule. That is too much for you. That is in exam hall. After the exam, you can come and try it and see whether you are correct. All right.
No
So
time to waste.
So that is all about this one. Let's glance through some of the questions and explain them. I'll give some of
Please, the C, is it compare and contrast the annuity due? Is it the definitions or you are supposed to calculate something?
compare and contrast. You want to do calculation for what?
Okay.
You just talk about the differences. Compare means you talk about the similarities among them. They have anything in common. Then the contrast means
The differences.
the difference.
Okay. I mean, I thought you would compare something in the workings.
No.
Okay.
But the working that we have done over here is what? Annuity due. This is annuity due, where the investments or the deposits will be done at the beginning of every quarter. This question, let's glance through some of the questions. We are done with the time value of money, but we still have about 20 minutes. Let's glance through some of the questions and see. Let's look at the 8. The 8 is
Classic,
math
yeah,
question.
okay.
Okay.
Classic Fashion PLC has raised 10 million from a share offer to its shareholders to finance market expansion projects in West Africa. The money will be deposited into an interest-bearing account and withdrawn in bits within regular time interval during the next 2 years. The first withdrawal will occur at the end of the first quarter. Subsequent withdrawals will occur at the end of each of the subsequent quarters for the next 2 years. The fund in the account will earn interest at 18% per annum with quarterly compounding.
Yeah, senior. We are waiting for you.
The question, I read and finish you.
The requirements.
The requirements, oh, okay, sorry. A, suppose the first withdrawal amount is 2.25 million. Compute the account balance immediately after the first withdrawal. Suppose subsequent quarterly withdrawals from the accounts are even for the next 2 years. Compute the size of each withdrawal.
Okay. So what is the question? What are they saying now? How much do they have now? How much is the balance? How much is the amount that they have now?
10 million.
Okay, that is the present value, isn't it?
Mm,
Okay, they say that the withdrawals will be done at the end of what? Every quarter.
that's correct.
Okay. And they say that suppose the first withdrawal amount is 2.25 million. compute the account balance immediately after the first withdrawal. So before you do the first withdrawal, what will happen to the money that you have there?
You have to compute the future value for that amount.
Or is it all the future? But before the first withdrawal, you'll be withdrawing the amount at the end of every quarter. So before the first withdrawal, what will happen? The amount will earn interest for how many months?
3.
It will earn interest for the first quarter, isn't it? So before you withdraw, the amount will already earn interest for the first quarter before you withdraw. So you have to find the amount at the end of the first quarter. Don't go and find the amount for the entire period because we are going to be withdrawing in a bit. So if you are withdrawing in a bit, the amount will not be there as a lump sum. So you go and put the money in the bank. You are telling the bank that at the end of 3 months, you come and withdraw this amount. At the end of 3 months, you come and withdraw this amount. So before you go and withdraw for the first month, for the first 3 months, it means that amount has already earned interest for that 3 months. Then you go and take the amount that you want to take. Then the remaining one will also earn interest for the remaining 3 months. If you go and withdraw again, the remaining balance will earn interest for the remaining 3 months or the next 3 months. You go and take amount again, and the balance will now earn interest for the last quarter. So before you go and take the money over there, you earn interest 3 months. Assuming there's no interest, it means that the money will still be there 10 million. Then you go and take the 2.25. But you are investing the money. So it means that before you go and take the money, it has already earned interest of what? 3 months. So we find the amount at the end of the first quarter. What will be the amount of the money at the end of the first quarter? That is very simple to find. So let's find the amount at the end of the first quarter. That can be calculated as, what is the annual rate?
18%.
So if you find quarterly rate divided by 4, what are you going to get?
Divided by 4. You are getting 0.045.
0.045. So we can say that the amount is the same as 1 plus R divided by what? M times the present value. So our amount is equal to 1 plus 0.18 exponent 4. Because we are doing it for only 1 quarter, so the exponent will be 1. I don't want to make it 1. So we now have times 10 million. What are we going to get?
I think we should get like 10,450.
So let's just do it in the million form.
In the million form should be 10.45.
10 points.
45.
Okay. So that will be 10.45, isn't it? So this will be the amount. This will be the amount at the end of the first quarter, before we go and withdraw the what? The 2.25. So after withdrawing the 2.25, what will now be the balance on the account? It will now be the 10.45 minus what? 2.25.
2.25.
So the balance will be what?
8.2.
8.20.
Okay. So this is the balance on the account. They are saying that suppose what? Suppose the subsequent quarterly withdrawals from the account are even for the next 2 years. Compute the size of each withdrawal. So the first one is what? The first quarter we have withdrawn already, isn't it? What will be the subsequent ones? The subsequent ones are now what? Equal. The subsequent ones are now equal. And what will be the remaining quarters? We are doing this for 2 years, isn't it? And we have withdrawn 1 quarter already. How many quarters do we have in 2 years?
8.
8. So if we have withdrawn 1 already, what will be the remaining quarter?
7.
7. And what is the present value? So the B is equal to present value, because this will be done at the end of every quarter. It will be C into annuity 1 minus 1 plus R exponent negative n divided by R. So we are using present value. So this is not a present value. So we just find the amount. So we have 8.20 into brackets C 1 minus 1 plus 0.045, which is 18 divided by 4, exponent negative 7, all divided by 0.045. So if you do that, that is the answer that you are going to get. Someone can also assume that suppose subsequent quarterly withdrawals from the account are even for the next 2 years. Then the person will assume that the first quarter withdrawal will be the same as the subsequent withdrawal quarters. So the person will now take all these amounts. The person will now take all the 10 million. The person will now take all the 10 million as a present value and now use 1 minus 1 plus 0.045 all divided by 0.045. Then the person will do it exponent negative 8, assuming that all the subsequent withdrawals for the 8 quarters will be the same. So the person can assume like that and do it. But if you also says that, okay, the subsequent withdrawals will be the remaining 7 months, we don't have any problem with that. Okay. Because the question is not clear as to whether they are talking about if the first withdrawal is this amount, it means that the following withdrawals will be the same amount. So we are going to have equal withdrawal for the 2 years. Someone can also assume that after the first withdrawal, the remaining 7 quarters will be equal. So I'm going to calculate the withdrawal for the remaining 7 months. The assumption is, since the question is not clear, you can make those 2 assumptions. Okay. That is about that one. Let's try to look at question 2C.
Sir, I think I want to seek some clarity.
Okay.
The point B said, suppose subsequent quarterly withdrawals. Okay, I think that's what you explained. Can't we also do a schedule to a table or a schedule to solve the same question? Well, I'm thinking that we can list the quarters of 8, as in if you go to the where we used to place the years, we can
Okay.
also list the number of quarters into 8. Then we put the initial amount there as 10 million. Then we come to the interest component, but that one should be for the interest for the quarter. So we divide the interest rate by 4. Then we go to the next column, that would be the withdrawal. So the question mentioned 2.25.
No. That is the first withdrawal.
Yes.
The first withdrawal
Then,
can be different from the remaining withdrawals.
correct. So I'm thinking that after the first year's or the first quarter's balance, whatever amount that we get, can't we divide that amount to the 7 quarters?
No. If you divide like that, you are going to have a problem. What you do is that the withdrawals will not be even. The withdrawals will not be even that you are going to withdraw. What will happen is that you go and take, then the remaining money will earn interest. You go and take, then the remaining money will earn interest. So if you are going to withdraw the 7 like that, it means that the money will not earn any interest on it.
Yeah, that's correct.
The money will not earn any interest. You are just going there to take the equal amount.
Agreed.
Are you okay? So if you do it like that, it means that you are assuming that there won't be any interest. But whatever be the case, before you go and withdraw the amount, the money will earn 3 months interest. But if you're just dividing by 7, it means that there is no interest on it. You are ignoring the interest factor. Let's look at question 2C. That will be the last one. Then we know that, okay, at least we have so many knowledge about simple interest.
Please, what was the final result?
I don't have calculator.
Please, anyone from the house?
What did you get?
I had 1.39.
Yeah, correct. 1.39.
I confirm.
Okay, let's look at the question 3, question 2C. That is also about loan. So that one you all give me the explanation. Then me I'll be here listening to you people.
Odapajan Food Limited is borrowing 500,000 to finance a project involving an expansion of its existing factory. It has obtained an offer from Sika Bank. The terms of the loan facility are as follows: annual interest 22%, duration of the loan 2 years, interest method compound interest with quarterly compounding, payment plan equal installments at the end of each quarter. Compute the quarterly installments. Prepare a loan amortization schedule to show the periodic interest charge, installment payment, principal payment, and balance of the loan at the end of each quarter.
Okay. So that question is about loan what? Amortization, isn't it? Okay. They say we should calculate the quarterly installments. That is the amount. That is the amount. So how do we go about that? How do you calculate the quarterly installments? The fixed amount that we will pay at the end of every year. How do you calculate that?
So this one will be ordinary annuity.
Okay.
So we use the ordinary annuity formula to
Which of them?
calculate for the
Present
future
value
value.
of, are you
Future
sure?
value.
This is loan.
And we are borrowing 500,000 now.
Okay.
So yes, we are borrowing 500,000 now.
Okay. And they say we should find the amount that you'll be paying every quarter.
Yes.
So the only formula that you can use is the present value to find the C, because you know the present value now, which is 500,000. Loan is always the loan amount, the equal payment is always calculated on present value.
Yes,
Because
present value
the
annuity.
amount that we are taking now is 500,000. That is the present value. How much will we be paying at the end of every quarter? So we have the present value is equal to C into brackets
1 minus
1
into bracket.
minus into brackets 1 plus R over M. This is quarterly, isn't it?
Yes.
N times M, all divided by R divided by what? M.
M.
Where your M is 4 because it's quarter, and your R is 22%, which is 0.22. Then your present value is 500,000. Then you
1,000.
find your equally installments. Then you do it like loan amortization table, like the way we have been doing the loan amortization table. Okay. So on this note, we are done with time value of money. By tomorrow, you will have notes on cost of capital, which we are praying that Sunday and Thursday, we will be done with cost of capital. Then the next Sunday, we start business valuation and finish that day. It's not plenty. So after finishing that day, the Thursday that will follow, we do mergers and acquisition. Finish that day.
Wow.
Then the Sunday, we will start working capital management. By the end of September, you should be done. Don't worry. Then you do your own thing. I will just come and get some 2 days and come and solve some questions with you. That is all. No intervention. Go and do your own thing. So if you don't have any question,
5 minutes break now.
no, we are done. It's 4 minutes to 9.
Hello, boss. Hello, boss.
Yes.
Yo, boss. Yeah, I was saying that when you were calculating the sinking fund and the loan amortization. Yeah, when you go to loan amortization, at a point we're using A in place of C, the formula.
They
Can
are all
you?
the same
Is it
thing.
a point?
They are all the same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, I know they are all the same, but I thought maybe you can. There's a point you have to use A, and there's a point you have to use C.
No, please. Any one that
Okay,
you use, you can use A as an amount.
you can use
And I
C.
can also use C as the cash flow. So no problem.
Okay, okay.
All right.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay. So if there's no question, I will deliver the assignment tomorrow with the cost of capital notes. Okay. We are done with time value of money. It has been a nice experience. Solve more questions and be familiar with the issue. You have to know when it is annuity, when it is a compound interest. If you are going to pay a fixed amount, and that is the end. If you are going to deposit a fixed amount, and that is the end, there won't be any deposit or anything at all. That is compound interest. Then you now ask yourself, am I going to calculate future value or present value? But if it will be an equal commitment that at the end of every day you pay this amount, then that will be annuity. The annuity now you ask yourself, how am I going to be contributing or taking the money? Is it at the beginning or at the end? If it is at the beginning, annuity due, you know how to do that. If it is at the end, that is what? Ordinary annuity. Always take note of the frequency of the tenor or something, how the campaign will be done. Take note of that. It can be semi-annually. You know how to flex the formula to reflect semi-annually. It can be quarterly. Know how to reflect the formula for quarterly. It can be monthly. Know how to do that. If it is quarterly, find the quarterly rate by dividing the rate. Every rate that will be given to you is per annum. Whether the question stated or not is per annum. So if they are saying quarterly, how many quarters do you have in a year? That is 4. So let me find the quarterly rate by dividing by 4. After dividing by 4, you ask yourself, how many years am I going to do this? If it is 4 years, it means that in every year, I'm going to do this 4 times. So how many times will I do this in 4 years' time? That will be 16. So the exponent will now be 16. Okay. So I will send more questions. If we solve it, we explain. Maybe the understanding will be there. If you don't have any question, I want us to stop here. Sunday, we will start. Thank you all for coming. I wish
You are
you
welcome.
good evening. All right.
Good evening.